Alright, we're back with a bang. We're going to end December. 5 title fights, 4 shows. First up on week 1, we got the lightweight division to crown our first ever champion, Go Yamamoto against Gorshin. Yamamoto will be the favourite going into. Should be a good fight. Pretty much all these title fights, it's the best guys in the world, pound for pound best in the divisions, all unbeaten. It's going to be good, guys. It's going to be good. As for this card, though, we also have Bushman back in action, who won his debut, and he's against world caliber kickboxer from Canada. Callan's two huge name value guys over in America. That'll be a very good fight. We got Zapatov, who's on a 3-fight win streak, back in action. Arslanian, who beat Popov on his last fight, Popik, which was a big surprise after losing to Yamada on his debut. We got him back in action. We got Al, who lost his last fight, which was his first ever loss, Harry Mild. He's back in action. We got Tropham as well back, who won his debut. We got Christopher Sharp making his debut at heavyweight. He'll be a very good addition. National caliber wrestler. Pretty solid fighter with a very weak chin, but Christopher Sharp usually can pack a punch in the heavyweight division. We got Smith as well, who's 1-1, lost his last fight against Roberto Alves. Then we also got Fatuma Roy making his debut at heavyweight. Not a bad wrestler. I always just get Mark Hunt vibes whenever I see him. But anyway, let's go. The first of 4 shows. No real surprises to start. GFC 31. It's a debut win for Fatuma Roy, knockout first round finish, good rated as well. This fight we don't really need to say too much about. Kahaya, the huge favourite, wins on his debut, but none of these guys on paper are very good or very marketable or anything, so I don't imagine they'll amount to too much. But Kahaya gets the spoils this time around. Oh, and demands a fight too. Perfect. Debut win and call out. First call out of the show. Well, after losing his last fight, he bounced straight back with another win. 19-year-old Fast Smith ends the year back on winning ways. It's a first round great rated submission finish too, so he'll be very happy with that. Christopher Sharp as well, big finisher here, big favourite as well. He starts his pro debut with a win and follows in Fatuma Roy's footsteps as well. 22 years old, he enters the game and he starts many more victories to come. I'm excited to see how far up we can get Sharp too. Another pretty one-sided bout, you could say. Tropham, pretty much with these. Submission finish, great rated fight. Picks up his second win, handing the Shredder his second straight defeat as well, which isn't looking good for him. Well, after a loss to Harry Milne on his last fight, Stafford also bounces back just like Fast Smith did, and it's another great rated. We're getting many good fights on this card too. It's a first round finish for him to go 4-1, and he calls out Tim Boyer. Pretty good call out, actually. That could be something we could make happen too. Porter Spradley, of course, won his debut, so we'll see. The betting lines have them pretty even. Arslanian, of course, won his last fight, which was a big surprise. I was expecting him to lose. Ooh, when he wins again, it's the first fight, I believe, on the whole card that's going to a decision. Only gets a decent rating, but it's back-to-back wins for Arslanian to end his first year in GFC pretty well. Not bad. Okay, moving on, we got a pretty easy fight on paper for Zapatov, actually. Yeah, pulls through, first round finish as well, good rated fight for him to get his 4th win. Alright, here we go, big co-main. Name value wise anyway, it's a very big co-main. Loretto and Bushman. Let's see if Loretto can get a debut win. 2 pretty big punchers, or we'll see if Bushman can come through. Like I've said before, Bushman's very unpredictable. He is the huge favourite, but anything can happen really when 2 stand-up guys like this fight. Oh, he wins by a neck crank submission. I don't think I've ever seen anyone finish by neck crank. Good rated fight, second round finish. Wow, submission, a very rare submission win for Bushman to go 2-0. Alright, here we go. I'm pumped. The first ever title contending fight. First ever title fight, first ever champion of any weight class of anything, about to be crowned. It's going to be a big month, December year. Both guys 5-0. Number 1 lightweight in the world, Go Yamamoto, against number 2 lightweight in the world, Gorshin. 5 years difference, exact same weight, exact same height. Yamamoto's actually the slight underdog mainly due to Gorshin's wrestling, which is, in terms of Go Yamamoto's game, it is his weak point. But he does have good defense, and he's got enough about him to fight on the ground. So we'll see. I believe I had these guys fight twice on my last save, and Go Yamamoto won both, just as a slight insight. I've only ever seen, obviously we all know I love Go Yamamoto, he's my favourite fighter. I've seen him fight a lot, but I don't think I've only ever seen him lose to a handful of guys, and it always seems to be the same guys, and Gorshin's never been one. So I have Go Yamamoto as favourite to be the first ever lightweight champion. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Gorshin's beaten the likes of Ishida on the way here. He beat Wajaya, Setio, Kain Valens, Wang on his last fight. One or two of these guys aren't even here anymore, so it's not been the greatest in terms of that. He's finished 3 out of his 5 fights too. 2 greats, 2 goods, and an average. Whereas Go Yamamoto, on the other hand, this will be his third fight this year. He's had 3 greats and 2 goods, and he's finished all of his opponents. In the last 3 fights, his opponent hasn't got past the first round. So let's just sit back, relax, and start the show. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Yamamoto has lost. The number one lightweight in the world loses to Gorshin, 30 years old. I like Gorshin. I'm happy for him. I'm kind of glad that it was these two guys I put together. But Yamamoto, at 25 years old, suffers the first loss of his career. And Gorshin puts himself heavily in pole position to win Fighter of the Year. At this point, I would say it'd probably be between him. And I think maybe if Tony McCall manages to win his title fight, maybe. But Yamamoto just got gassed out too early. You could argue that he maybe won round 1 and round 3, go Yamamoto, but it's a big push. But I wasn't expecting him to lose by TKO or knockout. I'm surprised. Gorshin used his wrestling well, and Yamamoto did get gassed pretty quick. I can't really recall ever a time before where his gas is gone. His gas tank's gone so soon. It was like maybe midway through round 2 he started to look tired. But great rated fight, a lot of action too in the first 3 rounds. That was back and forth punches. They're standing up, striking each other. So fair play to Gorshin to play against Go Yamamoto at his own game and beat him. What a show, what a show. I feel like if we had to run this fight back 10 times, it would be 10 different fights every time, to be honest. It's kind of that sense I'm getting. But our first ever champ and our first ever lightweight champ, Gorshin, has been crowned the winner as we take 69% commercial, just shy of high level national, which will probably be the second. After all these title fights, this is probably the second highest commercial rating. There's definitely one that's higher. The Bingwen Park and Rob Baines, I believe, is high level national. But what a fight, what a card. 80% critical. Contender for show of the year too. We make it 1.2k in attendance, 2% popularity increase, the most we've ever gotten. Gorshin's definitely taking home fight of the night. And yep, so many great fights on this card, so many. 7 out of the 10. So it's going to be a bit hard. Who do we give? Oh god. Yeah, we'll just keep it the way it is. Let's see the money wise. We make 68k, only paying just under 40k to our fighters. Terence Bushman's the only guy taking away any real money. But what a start to the episode. Okay, it's showtime, here we go. Fighter of the Year, Tony McCall, up against arguably who also could have been Fighter of the Year if he got the fight at the end of last year. Instead of Tony, it's Jeff Carlton. But they'll have it all on the line here. So whoever wins this will go into the betting lines, you could say, with Gorshin for Contender of Fighter of the Year, which would be crazy if Tony McCall won this fight and then won Fighter of the Year again 2 years in a row. It would be. But he is, I would say, the underdog in this one. I don't know what the betting lines will have him as. He's very good stand-up, but it's one of those fights where he's weak on the ground and Carlton's very good on the ground, but Carlton's very bad at standing up, whereas Tony McCall's very good at standing up. So it's just a case of who can control the fight will most likely win. Carlton's not very good. He's got like no kick game. He's not very good at creative striking, but he does have punching power, which is his only sort of advantage when standing up. And he's got a fairly strong chin. It's not the worst, but Tony McCall's got a very, very, very strong chin. I believe it's almost perfect, and he's not been cracked yet in his career, so there's no need for it to have decreased since the save's begun. But we also got Aki Shida and Kenji Toma, both guys over from Asia, who have very good name value in Asia. They get paid a lot of money. Kenji, of course, lost his debut. He's hoping to get his first win. Aki, on the other hand, won his. We also got, I would say, easily our best Scottish fighter on paper in the whole promotion. With a very good chin as well, national calibre judo fighter Perry Shearer, who of course won his debut. We'll see how he gets on. Gagan Boro, who lost his debut, back in action. Mario De Souza trying to build some momentum after finally getting back on winning ways, 3-2. So yeah, he'll really want to try and get another win under his belt. We also got Aguinga here, who makes his debut, but he's not really favourite to win this lightweight division. He's a national calibre kickboxer, but his ground game and defence lets him down big time, so he's not really going to contend in that top 5, top 10, to be honest. Once he comes up against a wrestler, he's screwed, and he's up against one today on his debut he's honestly not really a great wrestler, but he does have a good chin, so it's unlikely he'll pull off a debut win. And then we also got Sakta, and I have no idea how to say this, but we got Sakta, who he's kind of hard to forget because of his render and his blue hair. It's one guy I just always remember, and he's really not bad. He's got decent Muay Thai, good stand-up striker, decent chin, and he's up against the Swiss bare knuckle fighter, which you don't see often. G-Force, Rodolphe Giax. I have no idea, and I maybe should learn beforehand, but there's probably so many names I butcher on these playthroughs big time. Here we go, both guys fairly solid. I would have Sakta as the favourite, honestly. On paper anyway, slightly better on stand-up. Considering they're both going to stand up and strike each other, it's more than likely I would have Sakta to win. But let's see how the bare knuckle boxer gets on. He wins too, okay. Fair enough. Debut win. Good rated. Goes to unanimous decision. Nice. Alright, next up we got Bogdan, who's 3-2 overall, but 0-2 in our promotion, so if he loses this, he's out. But he is the slight favourite against Polivanov, Jesus Christ. Not a good start. Who's useless, practically useless. He can just punch really, really hard. Basically a boxer, to be honest. Basically just a true, like, I know he is boxing, but you would expect a lot of them have a little bit more to their game, you know, but he just does not. He's got no conditioning, no consistency, really. This will be interesting. If Bogdan loses to this guy, he doesn't even deserve to be here, honestly. Oh my god, he does. Oh my god. Well, it's a first ever pro win for the Russian, Polivanov, but it's the last time we're going to see Bogdan. Here we go, the debut kickboxer. Big underdog against the wrestler, which should be practically gifted Pereira win here. We do get a great rating out of it, and I'm sure it's not the last. I don't think Aguanaga, I don't know, but I'm sure it's not. I don't think he'll be the only. I don't think he'll go 0-3 and then get cut, to be honest. I think he'll be able to win against a few guys, especially in lightweight. Because even though lightweight's one of, I wouldn't say the weakest divisions, but it's definitely not one that's blossomed in the first 2 years. I would say lightweight and welterweight. But I would honestly strongly say that in probably another 2 years' time, maybe 3, lightweight is going to be the strongest division by far, because we've opened it up a little bit more to allow bantamweight and featherweights in. So literally those 3 weight classes, all the best guys in the world are going to be jammed into one weight class. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be like top 10. The top 10 in the lightweight division in like 2-3 years' time is going to be filled with guys who could be champions on all your guys' saves. Like, it's going to be crazy. Oh, he's also calling out Norberto. I believe Norberto's still unbeaten. I always get them mixed up because there's Norberto, there's Elgar, and there's Edalberto, and they're not even in the same weight class. They're all in different weight classes, but they just all look so similar, and their names to me are all so similar, and I always get them all mixed up, which is so bad. There's really no excuse, but it's just, it is what it is. Okay, big favourite Mario for his 4th win of his career. He comes through, great rated too. TNT, this will be his last fight, same as Bogdan. He is out. Another one to bite the dust on a very, very heavy roster of over 200 people, so it's not even going to put a dent in our numbers. Connor Stith from Washington lost his debut, 18 years old wrestler. He is the favourite for this one. Let's see if he can pull it off. He can't, he loses. Good rated first round finish for the dog. Is it back-to-back wins? It is, of course, losing to Jericho in his first. Okay, he's got a little bit of momentum behind him now. Well, Bora lost his debut to Anuka a while ago, a guy who's not even that good, which was a surprise to me. And then in his last fight, he lost to Pereira, the wrestler, who won earlier in this card. So if Gagan Bora loses this fight, he's out, which I'm surprised at. I mean, when you look at stats, there's obviously much better, but Gagan Bora would not have been anyone I would ever expect to go 0-3. And he's not even been matched up against guys. Like, it's not like we've booked him harsh. We haven't. So if he doesn't win this, which I deliberately found the worst guy possible for him to beat, that we know won't really gather much. You know, people that everyone has it. You know, the guys you use as stepping stones in your promotions. You know they're not going to amass too much. You're not going to be able to push them very far. So you use them as stepping stones. Maybe let them win once or twice and then you boost a guy even better on top of them. It's just the way it goes. So Gagenbora can't pull this off. He doesn't really deserve to be here. But he probably would be someone I would bring back. If he gets cut, he's probably the first guy to get cut that I would consider bringing back in a few years once he builds his record back up. He's only 19 as well, so that's kind of why. Okay, never mind, he wins. Submission finish, first round, good rating. Picks up his first win in GFC. Third time of asking, and he does his first call out, which we like to see. That's made his win seem a little bit better, even though his record here is 1-2, but Lars Boland, good call out. Well, Kenji Toma, to my surprise, lost his debut. And he's up against a fellow Japanese man here, Konishi, who I believe is 0-1. Yep. So, yeah, if he loses this, it's going to be very awkward, because then, like Gagenbora, he'll be one fight off at getting cut. He is slight favourite. Okay, good. It goes to decision, but it's a win. It's a win nonetheless. He's he's a bit unpredictable too, like Bushman and stuff. Gosh, okay. It's a good win though. And he demands a fight with Elgar, nice. Just like Gagenbora gets his first win and straight to the call-outs, we like it. Well, the hometown boy, Perishida, you could say the crown jewel of Scottish MMA right now, even though he's only 1-0 stats-wise, it says, and he's got Yamamoto. Not the good Yamamoto, the scuffed Yamamoto, who's 0-1. He is the favourite, and he... I don't want to talk about it. Vitali's up next. He won his debut, of course, and then against Brian Barnes, I believe, and then lost to Jeff Carlton on his last fight. So 1-1, and he's up against Aki, who of course won his debut. He'll be looking to keep the momentum going, but these guys are evenly matched ground game. This could be a boring fight actually for Comey, and I maybe shouldn't have listed this. Aki gets the win though and stays unbeaten, which is good, which will help build him up in the UK since he already is pretty popular in Japan. Okay, decent rating. It's not great, is it? But I would prefer him to win, and he got it done, so I can't really complain. Alright, okay, here we go. It's time. Title fight number 2 of 5. Jesus Christ, this is going to be a long episode, I apologise. But both guys 5-0, same as the lightweight championship bout. Jeff Carlton, as I expected, is the favourite because of his superior ground game. But like we spoke about before, it is 5 rounds, so you would expect as it goes on, Jeff's going to get the upper hand. If Tony has a chance to win, it would probably be the first or second round, but unbeaten, he's got full momentum, blasting, 4 pound for pound, number 1 heavyweight in the world. He is slightly smaller and slightly lighter than Jeff Carlton too, but his conditioning's pretty good. Is it good enough to go for 5 rounds? Probably not. It depends how he starts. It just really depends on his game plan, if he's really serious about it, just like Gorshin. Gorshin came in with the perfect game plan to beat Yamamoto, and he nailed it. The game plan worked perfectly for him. But yeah, as you can see here, boxing power is 70%, which is definitely enough to knock someone out. But his creative striking, his leg kicks and stuff, striking elusiveness is not great. So Tony definitely outdoes him on that. But he again also has good conditioning, a pretty solid chin too. I've seen much worse than 75%. So let's get this ball rolling and see. I do hope Tony wins, because it would just be so cool to have a back-to-back fighter of the year. But I again like both of these guys, just like the first fight. I've used them before, had them fight many times in my promotions. I believe actually my last save, Jeff Carlton, actually won fighter of the year on my first year. But anyway, we digress. Let's go. Oh my god, is it over? It's over in round 1, just like I said. If McCall has any chance of winning, he needs to initiate the perfect game plan, probably in the first 2 rounds before fatigue sets in and Carlton just crawls over him. Which is ironic, because McCall's called the Spider and I said crawl over him for Carlton. You get it? Spider, crawl. Okay, never mind. But I can't believe it. Fighter of the year, marks off his second year in huge contention to win it again. Good rated first round TKO strike finish under a minute and a half into the first ever heavyweight title fight. Tony the Spider McCall goes 6-0 and picks up the belt. Wow. I honestly wasn't expecting he would do it. Yeah, I guess it is. Compared to the betting lines, it is a pretty big shock, but full of momentum, full of sass. He just came in there and knocked him out. 62% commercial rating as well. Into mid-level national. 1.3 thousand in attendance, which I believe is our highest. 1.3 something is the highest anyway. Critically, it didn't do too great, but we'll take pop. 1.8. We should take money, even though we have Aki and Kenji Toma on this card. Yeah, we'll give McCall. Will we give him fight the night? He only got a good, and I like him, but I don't really like him that much. We'll give it to Pereira. He can take fight, since it was one of two fights that got a great. Yes, Mario can take submission and KO can go to McCall. Why not? Wow, yeah, 64k. Of course, because I think Aki lost. No, he won. He doesn't take as much as Kenji because he's only low national, I think. So we take 64k, and we're going to. I kind of blabbed on a bit too much this show, so we're going to shoot into the next one.